ASU's O'Connor College of Law is partnering with the Navajo Nation and Diné College to establish a first-of-its-kind tribally affiliated legal education program. The focus, tribal-specific laws and sovereignty. And joining us now is Stacy Leeds, Dean of ASU's O'Connor College of Law. Good to see you again. Thanks for joining.
Good to see you. Thank you.
All right, Dean, we're talking partnership with the Navajo Nation and with Diné College. What exactly, there's so much to ask about this, but what exactly is the end run here? To get more folks who are specializing in this kind of law?
Yes, to get more folks who are specializing in this law on and around the Navajo Nation.
How did the partnership come about?
For many years, the Navajo Nation, and particularly Diné College, has been looking at the problem of there not being enough lawyers and advocates on the reservation. And it's a problem not unique to Navajo Nation. When you look at our state here in Arizona, we rank 49th out of 50 for lawyers per capita. And that's even more pronounced in rural areas of our state and on the reservations.
And Diné College is located on the nation?
Diné College is located on the nation, yes.
Okay, and this it sounds like there are 4 degrees that will address what kind of legal needs from the Navajo Nation?
Sure. So the Navajo Nation has their own bar exam, their own court system. They operate by their own laws, and so you can imagine there's a very specific skill set and knowledge base that is required for someone to become a lawyer or an advocate. They will need to know some federal and state law because that necessarily interacts with tribal, but the host of their institutions are governed by their own legal system, their own laws. And so this 4-degree programs will give someone the skills that they need to set and take the Navajo Nation bar and then be either a judge or an advocate or a lawyer in that system.
What are some of the legal needs? What seems like it pops up most often?
You know, housing, consumer protection issues. If I enter into an agreement with a credit card company or to buy a car, who's there to protect the consumers in those types of situations? And then, like any jurisdiction, there are criminal matters where representation is key to protect the civil rights of an individual. So it's the same kinds of things that you see anywhere else. It's just more of a pronounced problem on the Navajo Nation, given how few people are taking that bar and then going into careers.
Yeah. There are also sovereignty issues, which you don't have to worry too much about down here. Well, you do in your own respect, but I mean, this is with the Navajo Nation, and so what are some of those sovereignty issues?
Well, water, of course, looms large in everybody's minds in terms of governance now, but it's everything from whose police force and whose prosecutors address issues of violence. It's situations of taxation, right? Anytime that there's a governing power, whether that be police powers or the executive branch or the legislature, it's the question of who gets to decide.
Right.
You know, is it the government there on the reservation, or is it some external government? So it's a lot of conflict around those issues.
I was going to say, are those lines of demarcation, are they becoming more clear, or is it getting a little more cloudy as things develop?
I think it's always been complicated.
Yes.
And the more sophisticated that local governments are in general, then it just elevates that.
Cultural traditions, how do they come into play here?
Navajo Nation is very special because they have a legal system, particularly their court systems and alternative dispute resolution, peacemaking, these types of things. Other tribes all over the country look to those traditions that Navajo Nation has been uniquely strong at maintaining. And so that's why we think that this partnership with Navajo in particular makes so much sense.
I was going to say, this could be a best model for lots of other folks, huh?
We think that it'll be replicable to other tribes all over the country.
Yeah. ASU's Indian Legal Program, talk to us about the history there.
Sure. So one of the things unique about our law school is that from the very beginning, our deans and faculty have recognized that part of the core mission of the law school will be that we help tribes as they continue to grow their legal profession, just like we do the state of Arizona. And so we have an Indian Legal Program that just celebrated its 35th anniversary of existence, and that's a very long history for this space in American law schools. So at this point, we've produced over 450 people that specialize in Native American law at various different tribes. And so it really is one of our strengths, and we're continuing to grow it.
Is this program kind of a way for you to get out of business? I mean, could you not? I mean, a Navajo Nation law school, I would think, would be the goal here. Is that what folks are looking for somewhere down the pike?
Well, Navajo Nation's needs in the legal profession are so great that they're always going to need both people locally there at home, and they need an advocate before the United States Supreme Court.
Yeah.
So what's great about this program is it takes the best of what a tribal college could produce and the best of what a top public law school can produce. And there's such a need from everybody who is a legal advocate that doesn't have a JD to people who are performing at the absolute highest level in the American legal system.
And what kind of reaction are you having from the tribal land?
Everything has been very positive. Everyone sees that this access to justice and legal deserts situation is a problem nationwide. But you know, to be able to help communities like this have more representation and individuals having access to more lawyers and advocates, it's just been incredibly well received.
So there is optimism there.
Quite a bit of optimism.
All right. Well, congratulations on this. Again, Dean Stacy Leeds, O'Connor College of Law, and this is a partnership. First, it sounds like we could have. Dene College is not. Is it a Navajo Nation law school, or is it just a law school on the Navajo Nation?
So Dene College is the nation's oldest tribally controlled and accredited college. So there's tribal colleges on other reservations, but this one goes back to 1968.
All right.
So they have 18 degree programs, and this will be number 19 in terms of their bachelor's degree in law.
There you go. Thanks for joining us. We appreciate it.
Thank you.